Good morning. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, thrilling episode of Growing Green Finger. So today, I think we're up to part 5, we're finally going to start planting up the rose garden, or the beginnings of the rose garden. Again, this rose garden is going to go down another 35, 40 feet. Behind the camera, it's going to go another, I think it's 25 feet or so. And then we're going to be cutting 60 feet across the front and 60 feet back and then across it's a lot. So it's not all going to be done at once. Eventually what I'll probably wind up doing is making a playlist and putting all the Rose Garden episodes into that playlist probably for next year. This year we'll just keep doing what we're doing, and then like I said, probably at the end of the year I'll put all the episodes into a playlist. So you can go back and you can, if you want to watch episode 1 through part 1 through whatever, you can. So today I'm going to start planting up. Now, I still you still see the black weed fabric down. It's because I don't want any grass growing into the area where the grass has already been killed off. There's pretty much nothing but dead grass underneath all that. Plus I have to put down the borders and do some other cleanup. So there's still work to be done, obviously, but there's enough of the beds opened up that we can start planting out. What I'm going to be planting today is 2 banana cream daisies. Hold on one second. Okay, these are Proven Winners Amazing Daisies Banana Cream. I picked these up at Lowe's on discount. They were on the clearance rack, so they were almost half dead. In fact, I got 3 of them. One of them, for some strange reason, even though it was well watered and tended to, it still rolled over and died. But I have 2, so I'll be planting those 2 out. And then of course I have my first rose bush, my first David Austin rose bush, which is Mr. Lincoln. Now Mr. Lincoln here looks very sick and very tired, and that's for a variety of reasons. One, in Sayville, last year that I was there when I lived in New York, he got some sort of bug that attacked him, wiped out most of the leaves. It did flush back towards the fall and started to reflower, which was great. But then I decided to move him down to North Carolina with me. That meant I had to dig him out, break a bunch of his roots. But what I did was, to try to help and preserve him, was I cut back the plant to essentially 3 stems. So I made him a bare root plant again. It's the second time in his life that's happened to him. Now, from my understanding, rose bushes don't like to be moved around too much. They're not that tolerant of it, I think. Again, if you know otherwise, or if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Quick note, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Click that bell icon to be notified of when I do post a new video, so you can follow along with my antics and see if this rose bush does survive after today. Then this year he's been sitting in a pot all year long, and rose bushes, from what I've seen, they do like to send the roots out, and they do have very deep roots, which is good. That will actually be good for next year, because if we get a heavy rain and then we don't get rain for 2-3 weeks, I'm not going to have to water him as much, because his roots will be down into the ground deep, getting that water that's still down there, which is again a good thing. But now his roots are in pretty much root bound. At least one of the roots, maybe a few others, did find its way through the holes in the bottom of the pot and actually start going into the ground where I had him sitting up by the front deck in the front of the house. So that's not necessarily a good thing. So I broke that root, so again now it's going to be unhappy. Plus it got in some sort of bug or fungus infection or something again, and it's lost most of its leaves. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to turn around and I'm going to obviously dig the hole, take it out of its pot. But before I do that, I'm going to cut back the stems again. Now I'm not going to do it as harsh as I did when I left New York, which was essentially just leaving 3 stems up. But I will be pretty much halving them. And this way the plant theoretically focuses more on putting out roots, which is what I want. This way it gets a really good root base established before the winter, and then theoretically next spring it'll bounce back to life. I'm also going to give it a good feeding with some rose fertilizer. Again, it hasn't been fed all year long in the pot. I didn't want to feed it because I didn't want it blooming a lot. I didn't want it to be putting its energy into that. I just wanted it to sort of stay dormant-ish, survive, just be in that okay mode, hanging on until I could get it permanently into the ground. So this is it. It's permanently going to go in the ground. It's going to stay. I'm never going to move this again. This is not, I don't think it's right to be moving a plant, a shrub like this multiple times, but either way. So it's going to stay here in the ground. And yeah, so let's get to it. Alright, so as you just see me do, I put a little Spoma Soil Perfect. It's basically like a gravel into the bottom of the thing. I dug down to where the soil is still very clay-like. Most of the good soil, the compost as it were, is on the top, so let's say 3 to 4 inches. So which is fine, and again, this ground will improve over time. The natural critters and whatnot will just continuously come up to the good soil with the organic matter. They'll pull it down into the clay soil. In 20 years, you could dig a foot down, it'll probably be all beautiful composty, loose soil. Maybe sooner, I don't know. We'll have to come back and check on that. So as I said, oh, and then on top of the Spoma, I put some good, clean garden soil down on top of that. Again, just to give this rose bush more of a fighting chance. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the secateurs, and I'm going to trim this guy back. Again, this way you won't have to be struggling as much. He has gotten some sort of illness recently that made most of the leaves fall off. I'm not sure what that's all about. If you have any clues or comments, suggestions, please leave them below. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start cutting this back to the various leaf nodes, and that's going to do is he won't, I'm going to go a little shorter on this one. He won't be then struggling to try to feed the stems that are so tall. And I think I'll leave that. I think I'll leave that. This guy will cut back to here. This guy, he's got a good branch. I want him to go out that way. I want him to go out that way. I'm going to go out that way. I think that's about it. I think that's all I'm going to do. So just a little off the top, as it were, taking off some of those more stressful. It has a lot of good branches now, so theoretically, if this survives throughout the winter, the fall and the winter, it should start growing quite well, I hope. Gonna add a little mitocordial fungi to the base of the plant here. That's supposed to help roots grow. So, I say it works best if you apply it directly to the roots, but a lot of the roots have soil on it, so we're just gonna mix it in there. All right, that's done. Whew. A little warm out. Next, I'm going to add some more soil, and then I'll pull everything back, and then fertilize, and Bob's your uncle. But just to sum up what I did, turned around, dug the hole, and I dug it down into the clay layer. Again, the top layer is only 3 to 4 inches thick of compost. So I dug into the clay layer, ran into a bunch of old tree roots because there was once upon a time a tree here, which is fine. Got rid of the roots. Put down some Spoma Soil Perfector. That's supposed to help drainage. It'll help improve the clay soil underneath. Added a bit more garden soil on top of that. Trimmed up the top of my plant. Put the plant in the hole. Put more garden soil in around it. More Spoma Soil Protector. Some mitocordial fungi for whatever good that'll do. Theoretically, it's supposed to help the roots grow. Put in more garden soil, pushed all the compost and dirt back, and topped off with some rose fertilizer. So I've done all that. I'm going to plant up my 2 Shasta daisies. They're not Shasta daisies, banana cream daisies. I'm going to plant up my 2 banana cream daisies. Sorry, the heat's cooking my brain. And we'll take care of those, water everything, and then we're done for today. So there you go. Got the rose bush planted out, the 2 banana cream daisies. Whew, it's hot. And right over here, not today, but another day, I'm going to be planting up my golden ticket privets, which are a non-invasive, sterile hedge. They'll be about 4 foot wide at full maturity. Hence the reason this rose bush is so far out here. Also along the edges and along the side and the front, I'm going to have boxwoods. They'll be low, about 1.5 feet, 2 foot tall, probably about 2 foot tall. And I'll keep them trimmed into a box shape, and that will make everything look more formal in the future. Boxwoods aren't ready to go in the ground this year. The golden tickets are, so I will be getting them in the ground soon. Again, not today. The heat and humidity are kicking my tuchus. So, but I got the rose bush planted. It's fertilized. I still have to water. The daisies are planted, so they won't have to suffer in their pots anymore. Hey, listen, if you haven't subscribed, I don't know why. You gotta subscribe, click the bell icon to be notified. See if this North Carolinian heat eventually does me in. Will the rose survive? Will the plants, I keep calling Shastas, daisies, grow and survive and thrive? What will happen? Who knows? Hit that subscribe button and you'll find out. If you don't follow me on Instagram, give it a follow on Instagram. I often post pictures there that you won't see here on YouTube. I like to try to keep the content a little different. If you like a cool shirt like the one I'm wearing, check out the links below. Help support the channel. Get yourself a t-shirt, a mug, maybe a hoodie. Fall's coming up. I gotta clean up this mess. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, you still watching? I hope so. Maybe you're not. Either way, yes, I'm going to mulch all that after, well, not today, but I'll be watering it today, and then I'll mulch it, and then there'll be more to come. And just to give you a heads up, there will be a late fall garden tour coming up soon, probably in the next couple of weeks. So again, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you.